Well, I got that bit cocked up tonight. But I don't like this new demo scene thing they've got now on YouTube on StreamYard. It's a bit of a pain in the arse, to be honest. But anyway, DJ, how you doing, my friend?
Yeah, all good, Jez. All good. Busy day. Watched the sort of England game last night, but I can't get into it, man. I'm afraid I'm not really these qualifiers and that. I can't. I do try, but I can't really. I just watch snippets of it and watch the main stuff. But yeah, not a bad day today. So all good. Really looking forward to the show. This one has given me probably the biggest headache of the ones we've done so far. So yeah, looking forward to it, guys. Looking forward to it. Big up everyone in the chat.
Yeah. Kenny, how you doing, my friend?
I'm very good. I watched the game yesterday. I have to admit, it was a routine win. I thought at first England struggled to break the lines, which international football should never be easy. But there's some free good goals. Reece James scored a free kick. Enjoyed that. The goal from Harry Kane scored his usual tap-in. Declan Rice assist, and then Ibrahimovic Esse, a player that I've been pushing for England inclusion for a long time, got the third. So I was really happy with that. You've got to remember it's all about experimentation. But because of the group England in, they can experiment with players. They can't take risks. They haven't got anything to worry about. They're definitely going to be on the plane to the free nations in next June. But it's all about using these qualifiers and obviously any friendly matches, to like I said, to be able to for Tuchel get his best team out. It's a shame that England are probably not involved in the Nation League quarterfinals and semi-final. Just gone in the semi-finals because this is the kind of opposition England need to be sort of testing themselves within. Because you look at it, as much as you guys hate international football, look at the quarterfinals you saw just recently. Quality teams. I wouldn't say Denmark are quality, but they got through, and they got it went all the way to penalties. And the semi-finals that you're going to see in June. 4 quality nations.
Yeah, I mean, I've had the games on in the background. I was the first game, Albania. I was on the show. I think it was DJ's, and I had it on there when Lewis Skelly scored, which was great. But big up from Oregon Goon. Jez, I can't wait to get to Brighton. Saw some tourist videos last weekend. Looking forward to August. Arteta out. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Can't wait till August, mate, when you're here. Aaron talks Arsenal. Evening to you, mate.
Aaron.
Doing a show later, I believe, at 8 o'clock, I think. So everybody go and watch that, please. Why are Henderson Walker in the squad? They are both 36 next year. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not the man to ask, I'm afraid. Anyway, let's have a quick chat before we talk about our best, greatest Arsenal. Kenny, the floor is yours. Trent Alexander. What do you think?
Well, first and foremost, we're neutrals, and ultimately it doesn't affect us. I think if we're fans of English football, it's a shame that that this is highly likely going to happen. But in terms of first and foremost, for Liverpool fans, got the greatest respect for their feelings. The fact is that the dream for football fans is for a local lad made good to finish their careers at the football club. Steven Gerrard virtually finished his career at Liverpool. Jamie Carragher did finish his career at Liverpool. And you think about the great Liverpool sides of under Bob Paisley, and Shanks as well. They had some scousers like Tommy Smith, Roger Byrne, like I said, Ian Callaghan, Phil Thompson, who was part of Shankly. Then obviously with Thompson and Smith went on to play for Paisley. And then you had players like David Johnson, Terry McDermott, scousers. All those kind of players, and Sammy Lee as well, Scousers. So long line of Scousers who played for Liverpool done well. Then you had players like Robbie Fowler, McManaman, And obviously Trent is the next in line of a Scouse, and obviously they got Curtis Jones. So I do understand it. You want, because Liverpool's such a big club, and obviously as football fans, we grew up with Liverpool. However, I see it from the player's point of view. Do you say no to Real Madrid? Not really. And he's not going to be left Liverpool in a lurch. He's going to leave Liverpool this season as Premiership champion. And let's face it, that is Liverpool's holy grail, the Champions League and the Premiership. He's going to leave with his head held high and think, right, Liverpool fans are upset. But in my 26 years, I've won 2 Premiership titles, soon to be, a Champions League, FA Cup and 2 League Cup campaigns. He's won and plus he's won the European Super Cup and the World Club. You know what I mean? And I think the World Cup, I don't know what they did in the World Club Championships. I don't know where they won that. I'll go and check. But he's won everything at Liverpool. So I suppose he'll live with his head high. And as for Real Madrid, it's brilliant. But, for England, to have a player playing for Real Madrid, high-level football that I consider for the Premiership, I think it's great for the Premiership. But Liverpool fans, if you're watching, I understand where you're coming from, because at the end of the day, I'm like you. You want the best players playing for your club and local lads playing for your club. But in terms of Trent Alexander-Arnold, all the best. Wish him all the best. But I can see both sides.
I can see it. Question for both you guys on this one now. Dale, hello, well, thank you for your super chat, my friend. Going to see Dad at Finsbury Park. Recommendations where to go for football, guys. I don't know about going to Arsenal, but if you're at Finsbury Park, there's only one place to go, really. But there we go. Anyway, moving on. DJ, give me your breakdown on the Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Well, I think it was inevitable, really. Once Real Madrid started coming for him, they've done well to keep him for as long as they have, really. And like Kenny, I can understand Liverpool fans' disappointment. However, the young lad's given everything to Liverpool. He's won titles and trophies with the club. And he doesn't really owe them anything. They're going to get good money for him. It's going to be. It's difficult, isn't it, when a club like Real Madrid comes calling? It's pretty much most players' dream to play for a Real Madrid or a Barcelona. So you can't really blame him. He's done very well for Liverpool. And what you got to ask yourself is, if he does stay at Liverpool, then who's to say that his form might deteriorate and you probably end up moving on anyway? So I think it's a tricky one, but I don't understand why he shouldn't get abuse. He should be allowed to be moved on. It's not as if he's leaving the club horribly, or, as Kenney said, in the lurch. They're probably, he's going to leave the club with them winning a Premier League trophy. So, good luck to him. And it is hard. We could have the same problem when if Saliba goes or Saka. You have to look at the bigger picture. And no, good luck to him. I think he's done well for Liverpool. And
he's done good service, isn't he? I mean, come on.
Yeah, 100%. He's done really well.
All players want to move on, and we've seen it at Arsenal so many times ourselves. When maybe Arsenal haven't shown the right ambition, and players have decided now it's time to move away. And I get that. I understand it. So I wish him all the well. And there we go. Dale says, Spurs it is then. Oh, mate.
Well, I don't know about that.
I wouldn't go there, mate. I wouldn't go there.
Hey, I grew up in Finsbury Park. There's so much to do. Come on, mate. Where to go? You can go to the park itself, which.
Yes, I was just going to say, take a packed lunch and go over the park and get a bit of sunshine and watch nature take its course.
There's so much to do, man. The park's massive. They've got American football. They've got a gym across the end of the park. They've got a running track as well. at the park. You know, they got Go Ape. You know, if you're young enough to go on like the little swings and everything, everything's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice area around there, actually, now. Didn't always.
Posh.
It wasn't always like that, but it's well. Anyway, right, guys, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Greatest squad of 17. 2 goalkeepers. We'll start with the first. I'll throw you my one that I think, and then if you want to throw yours in, if we agree, I'm going to write it all down. I'm going to write all these players down, right? So I've got my first one, right? My first, and this one's caused me a lot of headaches. I won't lie. Dear. I am going to have to go as one of my number keepers, out of one of the 2, whatever. I'm going to go with Pat Jennings. For me. DJ?
Yeah, I'll second that. I'm afraid, Jez, I can't really look beyond Pat Jennings as the only goalkeeper, you know. Fantastic for Arsenal. I watched him many a time. Under pressure quite a lot of times as well back in the day. Good shot stopper. Got his angles pretty much spot on. Was never beaten at his near post. Came for the crosses. Safe as is when the ball was in the air, commanding. But he weren't a sort of aggressive keeper where you'd hear him shout and holler at his defence and point the finger. Everything he'd done with calmness and a kind of coolness around him. And that helped his defenders as well, you know. So, yeah, no, definitely for me, Pat Jennings as well. It was, yeah. There was another goalkeeper that I did have in mind. My first goalkeeper is Pat Jennings, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was umming and ahhing on this one for way too long. It was Bob Wilson, Pat Jennings. I don't know. Kenny, where are you going, my friend?
Well, you know how much I love Pat. Pat Jennings is a player that I've loved a lot. You know, it bears no relevance to me that he played for Tottenham. None at all. You know, as far as I'm concerned, when you look at who's your first goalkeeper, the first goalkeeper of prominence is Pat Jennings. And he was a natural goalkeeper. But he was doing, you know, the sort of things Peter Schmeichel was kind of famous for, you know, the sort of saves and the crab lart saves. Pat Jennings was doing that in the 70s and he was doing it in the 80s with us. You know, those sort of like handball saves. Well, Pat Jennings was doing that. You know, he wasn't like a classical goalkeeper like our good friend Peter Shilton, who never liked to save his legs or do. He was traditional. That's why sometimes Shilton. You think about Shilton's 1973 against Poland. Pat Jennings would have used his feet for that shot from Lato in 73. But so I don't know. But the problem is that I'm torn. I've got 3 goalkeepers, but Pat Jennings is between Pat Jennings and 2 others. And the reason why is because I'm torn between who are the best goalkeepers. And my 3 favourite goalkeepers are all going to be in there. But I can only have 2. So I'm going to have to, because I'm going to have to leave Big Pat out. Because I've got 2 goalkeepers in, but had this player not joined us, it would easily have been Big Pat as my squad, my fighting for the number 1 place. Because at the end of the day, I grew up with Big Pat, easily the best goalkeeper I saw until I saw 2 others.
Right, I'll hold it there for a minute. Hold it there. I'm going to go with now this one. I really had to think about this. Oh dear. I had 3 in this position, right? John Lukic, David Seaman, or Jens Lehmann. And I was like, I'm in an ahhing. And I was actually having a chat with a mate on the phone on Sunday evening about, I said, he said, are you doing your favourite, greatest squad? I said, yeah. I said, who would you go as your second goalkeeper? I said, I'm looking at David Seaman, John Lukic, or Jens Lehmann. He went with Jens Lehmann, Mad Jens. And I went, oh, yeah, I know he's great, but yeah, I still to this day, European Cup final. I think that was unfair. I do, but I've had to jump from one side of this fence to the other and back over, sat on the fence, and I'm going. I have to go down this road. I have to go with David Seaman.
Yeah.
DJ?
Yeah, I was in the same boat. I mean, me personally, it was out of John Lukic and David Seaman. I thought Jens Lehmann was a really good goalkeeper for us. Say no more. You know, he was a really good goalkeeper, but there was a lot about him that I didn't enjoy as much as David Seaman and John Lukic. David Seaman getting caught on it from the halfway line, but Naheem, I've never forgiven him for that. No. But do you know what? I was like you. I was umming and ahhing what one to go for, but I'm going to go to Big John. I went for Big Johnny Lukic, I'm afraid.
Oh yeah, well,
I went for Big Johnny Lukic because I saw some of the saves he used to pull off and for a big guy, he could really get down to the corners and good shot stopper. And 89, hero of mine.
Of course.
But David Seaman was top draw goalkeeper, without a doubt. He was an absolute fantastic goalkeeper and will always remembered by the Arsenal faithful. But no, my two keepers is Big Pat and Johnny Lukic.
Lukic, okay, fair enough. I'll write it down. Kenny, where you going, mate?
First and foremost, there's an Everton fan called Rat. Ask the lads if they remember Bob Blatchford. He was a nightmare for us. Bob Blatchford, 1978, 30 goals for Everton.
Yes.
In 1977-78 season. And he's an absolute legend of a player, brilliant footballer. When you talk about great Everton strikers, Latchford is up there with obviously Gary Lineker for his one season, Graham Sharp, and obviously Kevin Campbell is another one who was an Everton legend.
Yeah,
spoke of very highly. But Bob Latchford, unbelievable striker at a time where I thought Bob Latchford was probably unlucky not to get more England caps.
He was. True. He was a big old striker. He was old Bobby Latch, wasn't he? He was a real handful. Yeah, unbelievable.
Facts, absolute facts. Kenny, your
my two goalkeepers is we've had a great discussion. Johnny Lukic is obviously the wiggle, but again, he's another goalkeeper I grew up with as well. One of the best goalkeepers we've ever seen. Very underrated, but when you look at his medal haul with two clubs, won the league with was goalkeeper in Leeds United in 92, 89 goalkeeper with us. When we came out of our big sleep in 87, he was the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But in terms of my two goalkeepers, the reason why I've gone for my two is because I can't split them still. Even though last week I actually went for one of them. My two goalkeepers are probably the two of the best goalkeepers I have seen at the Arsenal. And it takes a lot to say that these two were better than Pat Jennings and John Lukic. That's how highly I rate these two. But it's between whatever order you want to put them in. David Seaman, I hated him at first when he joined Arsenal because he took over from my hero, John Lukic. But when I saw him against Leeds in the FA Cup that season, I think, yeah, that's my man. Jens Lehmann is another one who I absolutely thought was a fantastic goalkeeper, good at narrowing the angle. You know, you think about his performance in Villarreal, a lot of that was down to him. In fact, us getting to the chat, as much as we were angry with his rush of blood in Paris, it was Jens and Henri got us there in the first place to the Champions League final. just as much Jens as Henri. And I think Arsene Wenger's biggest mistake in 07-08, even though Jens made a couple of rickets, promoting Almunia over Jens Lehmann cost us the title that year. I've genuinely believed it.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought. That's when I was beginning to have my murmurs. I thought, this Wenger's not the man for us to make a decision like that so stupidly. It's like, promoting Aboué over Laurent too early than when he should have done was another decision that baffled me. But
that was crazy. That was.
Yeah. My two goalkeepers 100% are Seaman and Lehmann, or Lehmann or Seaman. Both of them were fantastic goalkeepers.
I have to agree. Yeah. I have to.
Another thing. Sorry, Jess. Let's not forget the 2005 cup final when Man United battered us. Jens kept us in the game.
He did indeed. Yeah.
Very, very, very true. So if we were the technical directors of Arsenal, we'd have a good chat here. Then we got four, and I can't disagree with any of them. I cannot disagree with you guys at all. Jennings, Lukic, Lehmann, Seaman. I mean, it's a big bloody choice. But okay, we got it's a tough one. It is a tough one. Let's move in then. This is even tougher, I think. This one, defense.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I can't go anywhere else. My first choice, absolute legend of a player for Arsenal, for me, has to be in there. Tony Adams. Got to be.
Yeah, no, I second that, Jez. I think you'd be hard pushed to find a better defender for Arsenal. Wore his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah.
Gave 100%. He was phenomenal. Unbelievable. Surprisingly quicker than a lot of people gave him credit for. He was very, very quick over. He didn't appear to be that quick, but he was surprisingly quick over 5-10 yards. Fantastic tackler. Never shy out of anything. And a lot of strikers knew they'd been in a game when they come up against Tony Adams.
Oh, God.
They knew they'd been in a game when they come up against Tony Adams. And a leader of men, proper skipper.
Yeah.
Proper captain. Something that is now in football a complete dying breed. You haven't got proper captains and leaders anymore in football. Adams is up there with the Roy Keanes and people like that. So for me, Tony Adams was probably the first name I put down in defence. 100%.
Kenny Ken?
Oh, without a shadow of that, he made his debut in I think just before his 70th birthday, just after his 70th birthday in '83. 2-0. Sunderland, we lost at home, ironically, to Sunderland. That game.
He didn't have his best game that day either, did he?
Yeah. And one thing that you knew, one thing I heard, is that Tony Adams was bossing around the defenders. He was telling Kenny Sampson what position to stay in, and and let's not forget the season afterwards, when in '84-'85, he made a few appearances for us as well when there were injuries, and he didn't really get much appearances in '85-'86. When ironically, towards the end of the '85-'86 season, Martin Keown was the player that was in front of Tony Adams. He was the one who was getting first team appearances, especially after March, after the Easter period. He was a bit of a fixture in the team because Tommy Caton was injured. He wasn't getting many games, and so it was one of those things where I was thinking, "What's happened to Tony Adams? What's happened to Tony Adams?" And George came along, and that was it. He just said, "Right, boom, you're my man. I'm going to play you alongside David O'Leary." We never looked back ever since.
No,
you're right. He had deceptive pace, but another thing that people tend to underrate with Tony Adams is that they talk about his special goals. Well, in the '86-'87 season, Tony Adams was scoring as well, popping up with some very important goals, during that league season. Let's not forget, in that season, we went about over 23 games unbeaten.
True.
From where I think we lost. We didn't get beaten from about September up until we lost the Battle of Old Trafford when Rocky got sent off, and then we kind of fell down. But we were actually the front runners of the title. We're actually, leading the title. Obviously, let's just say we were inexperienced. I'm going to say we bottled it because George's teams don't bottle it. They just lack experience.
No.
Yeah. Tony Adams, for me, you know what I like about Tony Adams? He evolved. He always came back from adversity. Euro 88, he got a lot of criticism because England lost all their games. He was getting the Eeyore noises.
Yeah.
And he came back from that and won the league. And then came back from adversity which was his own fault, drink driving, went into prison, and then came back in a practice match. After that practice match, went back, as soon as he got out of prison, the practice match, and then a few days later led us out again, and he won a league title. And then he evolved. And under Arsene Wenger, he evolved and became more of a ball player as well. So he's stood the test of time in terms of leadership, where managers who would have come to Arsenal would have thought, all right, is Tony Adams my man? As soon as they spoke to him and saw him in training, they went, yeah, this is our captain and leader. But it wasn't just his leadership. He was a very good defender as well, top defender. He was a captain. He replaced David Platt in tournament, during the Euro 96, where Terry Venables broke David Platt's heart and just took the armband of him and went, right, Tony Adams is having it. It says a lot for a manager to have the nuts to do that in tournament, not before the tournament, during the tournament, in tournament, to do that. So Tony Adams is, we could do a whole podcast on Tony Adams, and we'll still be in our fourth hour talking about everything he's done. But for me, Tony Adams, shadow of that.
So many memories.
Our club, West Ham fan, played alongside yourself, I heard. Took your DJB, but
I did,
became an Arsenal man.
Yeah, I mean, I did. Adams was from my neck of the woods and grew up together. He was in the school just down the road, but we used to meet up when we played for our district team. And he then ran a Sunday team as well, and I played against his Sunday side. So I've got some great memories with Tony Adams, but always knew that he was going to be a top player and a top professional. Always knew he was going to be a top captain as well, and rightly so. He would go into most all greatest teams of the Premiership and leagues.
Oh, without question.
I would say Tony Adams would probably be in most neutral, not even Arsenal fans, but most fans' team. Tony Adams would be in there, I would have thought.
I can't think how you could actually not have him in there. I'm going to put this one on. I think people are going to probably disagree with me completely on this, but I was privileged to see him play as a little kid, and I thought he's an immense player for Arsenal, and that is Frank McClintock. I'd have him in my squad every day of the week. The guy was a proper hard nut. He was a Tony Adams-esque player. Yeah. I remember one game he was up against Billy Bremner, and Billy Bremner, as we all know, is an absolute nutcase. And they went in for a clatter tackle, as we used to call them, and Billy Bremner came off worse. Frank McClintock just took the ball off him, right? Crashed like it was like two ships crashing. And Billy Bremner, who was a proper tough cookie, was on the floor holding his shin, right? And Frank McClintock just took the ball, waltzed up the wing and delivered the pass. But just quick question here. I don't know the answer to this. Dale says, Kenny, DJ, you might know. I don't know the answer. Quick question for you guys. Do you know which Arsenal player went from Arsenal to Barnsley?
No.
I don't
can't think of one.
I don't know the answer, mate. I don't know the answer. No, I don't.
Hey, Dale, is it like watching Brazil watching Barnsley?
Okay.
Steve Morrow? No, it weren't, was it?
I honestly don't have a clue on that one. Don't know. But okay, while we're thinking on that, Kenny, would you agree with McClintock? Would you agree with him? Would you have him in your team?
I should.
Squad?
I should have Big Frank in, but I think but when I look at Frank, I've seen other defenders that I've seen other defenders because what about David O'Leary? What about Big Sol?
Yeah.
What about Martin Keown? What about Big Martin Keown?
It's been difficult, this one. It's been difficult, this one.
Because, you think about partnerships. Adams and Bold had a great partnership.
Yeah.
Adams and Sol had quite a good partnership. Sol and Carlo Torre had a good partnership. Adams and David O'Leary had a good partnership. It's so it's loads of things. But then you look at Big Frank, Sir Frank McClintock. You say, yeah, he's got to be in there. But there's players who are just as good as him.
Yes, it's difficult, this one.
It's hard.
Yeah. Tricky. All right, okay. DJ, would you? I mean, I'm just writing this down. I want it's a consensus.
I put in a guy that I watched, and he reminded me very much. He was like the Arsenal's Alan Henson, because I used to admire Alan Henson. I know he played for Liverpool, but I couldn't look any further than David O'Leary personally. I mean, David was the sort of defender that you just knew you was in safe hands with. Again, another cool, calm defender, But one thing with David O'Leary, he really read the game so well.
I think we have
brilliant reader of the game.
We have to go with him. O'Leary.
His positioning and his covering of his fullbacks was exemplary, and a lot of defenders used to learn a lot of their trade from watching David O'Leary.
Sorry, Frank, you've not made the squad. Sorry about that, mate.
He's not made. No, Frank McClintock. I mean, I have got Frank McClintock in on the bench, if that helps.
Well, it's a 17-man squad.
Yeah, I've got him on the bench. I've got Frank McClintock on the bench as the next as a defender, but he doesn't make my first 11. David O'Leary makes my first 11.
I'll pop McClintock question. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of defenders. There's a lot of defenders here.
You know what? It's an hard one, isn't it?
Yeah. But as Kenney said, Sol Campbell, Torre. We've had some great centre half at the club, but I think David O'Leary edges it for me.
I'll go with that one. I'll have McClintock question on the bench for now.
You know what?
Rich 99 asks, Jez, Kenny, DJB. I don't want to say too much on this topic.
We don't want to say too much, but you know what? That's actually a really big question because by August 2026, we'd have been in the Emirates playing competitive football for 20 years at the Emirates.
Yeah.
And by August this year, it's going to be 19 years. So that is a whole era of footballers that have played at the Emirates. There's a whole era of games. How many games have you seen at the Emirates since August 2006, since the first game against Aston Villa? Big questions. But you know the criteria that I go by. What you won for us?
Well, I mean, that's another debate in itself. Frank, I think Graham's talking about Frank. Dale says, thank you again, mate, for your super chat. Who is the next? Great question. Ex-past player deserves a statue. I've got my answer on this one. I've got my answer. I will be shouted down on this by the gooners out there in the world. For me, it has to be Jules Graham. Great player.
Jules Graham. Yeah.
Manager.
100% George Graham.
100%. It's a no-brainer. It's actually a no-brainer. That, you know, the guys won the double in 71, won the first cup in 70, won 2 league championships for Arsenal as a manager, won Arsenal's only European trophy since 1970, won an a double cup competition, 93 FA Cup, albeit against the same side, Sheffield Wednesday. I know what you're saying, Rat. He went to Tottenham. Sorry, no trophy. He didn't leave Arsenal to go to Tottenham. He was at Leeds and he went to Spurs. But if you go to White Hart Lane or whatever they call the stadium, why is Pat Jennings getting he's a match day host at Chelsea? Why is Pat Jennings always line up as Spurs legend? Why are they giving him love, but we can't give George love? If I was to ask you again, Rat, who are the 3 greatest managers that we ever had? I bet you any money you would say George Graham, Herbert Chapman, and Arsene Wenger. So if that's the case, why has only 2 of them got statues?
True. It infuriates me beyond. But I've had arguments with people on this one when I going to games when I used to go. And I said, why hasn't George got one? Well, you know, he went and managed Spurs. That's irrelevant. Okay, so yeah, we can get into this debate if we wanted to, but I'm not going to do it tonight. Yeah, we brought in Sol Campbell from Spurs. Come on. What and Pat Jennings, one of our greatest goalkeepers, one of the greatest defenders ever to play for Arsenal. Come on. I mean, it's you know, you can't play it both ways here, people. You can't do that because anyway, let's move it on. So McClintock's on the bench for now. We've got O'Leary guaranteed. Adams, another player. This may go against some people. I've got Ashley Cole.
What, a left back?
Yeah.
Jez, we're spoilt with left back. You know that, mate.
Yeah, 100% spoilt with left backs. But
even after Ashley Cole, we had great left backs.
Yeah, I mean, this was hard. This was hard for me for left backs. I mean, I was a big Kennny Sansom fan. When Kennny came to the club, when we signed him, it was just what we needed at the time, and he made that position his own, and he was brilliant going forward. He was brilliant on the ball. He's a good passer of the ball. But then I watch Ashley Cole, and one of my heroes is Paolo Maldini. Now he's not Maldini, but he's probably the closest thing that I've seen from Maldini at left back. So I chose Ashley Cole as well. You know, just and I still think to this day, in a lot of ex-pundits and players and everything, if they was to pick their top 11, a lot of them probably would overlook Ashley Cole. And, they would probably overlook Ashley Cole. But you've only got to look at the trophies he's won at Arsenal, and then he done it at Chelsea, and he was very, very consistent. Up and down the line, good tackler. So Ashley Cole gets in at left back for me, definitely.
You know what? You've got a litany of left backs. Rats. You know, if I was to go back to Bob McNabb, let's go for our great left backs: Bob McNabb, Sammy Nelson, Kenny Sampson, Nigel Winterburn.
Yeah.
Before Silvino, before his passport ran out, was a good left back for us.
Yeah.
Then you've got Then you've got Ashley Cole, obviously special.
Don't forget, this is a squad. This is a squad.
It's a squad.
So these people fit in there.
But you know another player that wouldn't get in my squad, but I had a lot of love for, and you're going to be shocked when I say this, but hear me out. I love Nacho Monreal because Nacho Monreal gave me everything.
Yeah.
He played in the Emirates era. He gave me everything I asked for in an Arsenal player. He was one of my favourite Arsenal players in the Emirates era because of the fact he never let me down.
And he scored good goals.
Yeah. He always gave me 7 out of 10 in terms of performances.
Yeah,
but he would never get in my squad because of the fact that you're going all the way down. But my Ashley Cole and Kenny Sampson, my boys.
Yeah, same as his, yeah. Even though Nigel Winterburn gets a real special mention as well. I mean, it's really difficult. But when you think of the left backs we've had, all of those players, you wouldn't be disappointed, would you, if they made your first 11? That you
I'd take them now. I'd take them now. That's for sure.
Yeah. And they'd all walk into this team that we've got now, wouldn't they? Definitely.
Rat's trying to catch me out here. He says, Rat's trying to say, did I rate Tony DeRigo? Sorry, Tony DeRigo started his career at Chelsea. No, Aston Villa, then Chelsea. He went Aston Villa, then Chelsea, and he won the league at Leeds since '92. Australian lads.
Would you bring into the equation? Would you bring in Steve Bold?
Yeah, I think. I mean, Steve Bold done brilliant for us. Again, very underrated centre half, and he was his partnership that he had with Adams and that was brilliant. I mean, their understanding together was fantastic. But Steve Bold. But unfortunately, if you're looking at the great Frank McClintock, Tony Adams, David O'Leary, he don't quite get ahead of them for me. But Boldy was brilliant, yeah, definitely.
I'll just do this super chat, mate, from AB. Thank you, my friend, for your super chat. Arsenal need to start behaving like a big club. AC Milan were invincible over 9 years before Arsenal. Did you don't there are Milan fans raving about it? No, we don't, do you? But then again, I don't watch Italian football, unfortunately. But yeah, you are correct in saying that. So right, okay. Your agreement or not? I'm going to pop Bob McNabb squad. Yeah, McNabb, right? Because he was a proper player at Arsenal, and Boldy. Right now, obviously, this is just a squad, so may not make it at the end. Kenny Sampson, I think you got to have Kenny Sampson, haven't you?
Yeah, 100%.
Kenny Sampson, most capped player for Arsenal. I mean, he was a great player. So we got at the moment McClintock, O'Leary, Adams, Cole, McNabb, Bold, Sampson, Winterburn. We've got Winterburn in there, are we? No.
You got to think of Nige in it.
Yeah.
89, 91, 98.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got to be in there, hasn't
he? Two decades. 80s, late 80s, and mid 90s later. But Kenny's Kenny, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was a great player for Arsenal personally. Solid as a rock, always did his job. Ultra reliable. Are we putting him in there, guys? Yes. No. DJ.
I suppose you have got to put him in there. You put him in there, whether he makes our sort of total 17. But yeah, he's definitely got to go in there.
Right.
He has to be considered.
Because of what he's done.
Right. He has got the medals as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Who's next in our defenders?
Right back.
I mean, we've had some good,
go, man. Go.
we've had some good right backs. You know, I really rated Viv Anderson. I loved Viv.
Oh, God.
You know, I loved Viv. He used to, with his long legs, bounding down the right hand side.
Yeah.
You know, his celebration goals and.
Got to go, Anderson.
I like Viv Richards. Viv Richards. I'm talking cricket again.
Kenny. You're talking cricket again. You know what I mean?
Viv Anderson. That's because the cricket season's coming up. Sorry, guys. But I went with, as much as I didn't like him as I don't like his personality. I bumped into him a few times when he was walking around the Emirates, and I thought, you know, he personality-wise, I don't really like him. I don't really like him as a pundit and a commentator. But he was a brilliant right back for us. And I've got to go with Lee Dixon.
I thought you'd say that. Not just about not about him as a player, but as a person. It's funny that because me and him had a Twitter argument, and he actually replied to me after North London Derby. Because we lost to North London Derby, and I was asking for Arsenal Wenger to be sacked. That was in the, you know, like we went panic buying at 11-12, and he said he was saying that Arsenal fans was basically saying we should suck it up when we finish behind Spurs and finish fifth. He said it shouldn't be all too bad because I actually sent him a tweet, and I don't think he would answer me. I said, I think Lee, perhaps when you're commentating on your commentating football, perhaps you should remember that the club that employed you when you had your best years at, perhaps you should be more objective about that club and not put that club down. And I didn't think anything of it. 3 hours later, he went, "Oh, please!" And then we went
I bumped into him once. He must have come out the commentary box, and he was walking round, and I was walking the other way, and there was two young kids with their programs, and they went, "Oh, look, it's Lee Dixon with their dads, Lee Dixon." And I went, "All right, Lee," and he blanked me, and the two kids wanted a, you know. And he just walked straight past them, pushed past them. As a player at Arsenal, as a right back at Arsenal, he made my first 11 because he was a good, solid right back, and he was always an 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10.
You know what? You know why he ignored that. You know why he ignored everyone, because Lee Dixon likes to forget that he came from a working class background in Manchester. And I used to have a house in Harpenden, Hertfordshire. I don't know. Yeah. Don't ask me how I ended up living there, but I used to bump into 3 players, and one of them used to go to my local Chinese, and one of them was Lee Dixon. I saw him, and I thought, I don't want to be disappointed, so I didn't approach him. But it was years back. We're talking about nearly 20 years ago. Steve Bold I used to see, and Andy Linnigan.
Yeah. Andy Linnigan,
it was there, and then
a lot of them lived in Hertfordshire, didn't they? A lot of them lived around.
You know, Harpenden's on the Luton border. A lot of the ex-Luton Town players used to be out there. Like, one guy is an absolute malice of a man, and I say to him in Wazzock of a man, and it was Nick Hartford. I thought he was.
I was going to say Nick Hartford.
Yeah, but there's one guy, God bless his soul, was completely and utterly off his head with alcohol, so pissed up, you had to see it to believe it. And him and Mick Hartford were so pissed up. It was the late Andy King, who was born in Luton. He was at Everton,
wasn't he? Did Andy King go to Everton as well, didn't he?
Yeah, but he was actually originally from Luton. He played for Luton Town, and he went to Everton. But Andy King and Mick Hartford were just absolutely off their heads, and it was basically like the Steam brothers were holding them up, and Ricky Hill was there as well.
Oh, right. Wow, that's a good story. That's unbelievable.
I've actually got, as Rat says here, I have actually got one of these down. But we're getting a little bit overloaded in defence now, because I've got another player. Yeah. Now, Tom Parker, apparently, I've read about him in books, was apparently quite a legend at Arsenal. Now, obviously, we never saw him play. I don't remember I'll be honest with you, Rat. I don't honestly remember my granddad talking much about these two players from the Chapman era, but I do know he did talk about Tom Parker a bit, that he was quite a legend for various things, but I'm not sure these would make my squad now, or our squad, should I say. But we have forgotten one man here, Sol Campbell.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Got to have Sol Campbell, we. Absolutely. What he did, guys, what he did.
Yeah.
European final.
Double winning season.
Invincible double winning season. The header, the famous header.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, I noticed in the chat as well, I went through all the defenders. Again, look, Pat Rice. What a right. Do you know what I mean? What a fullback that man was. Pat Rice.
We've had some.
Played in 71. He was a double winning right back.
Yeah.
And he lifted the FA Cup in 1979. And he was a captain. It was last year, it was 1980. And then obviously after the 79-80 season, he went to Watford. And played under Graham Taylor for a couple of seasons.
I liked Lauren as well. I think Lauren was a good right back. We've had some
midfielder as well. Lauren came to us as a midfielder.
Yeah, he did.
Where we stop in defenders? We've had, Lauren. I thought Lauren was a great player. I really thought he was Mr. Solid. But we're getting a little bit over.
Lauren's very similar to Miles Lewis-Skelly. He reminds me very much of Miles Lewis-Skelly reminds me very much of Lauren.
You know what it is, Jess?
Yeah.
It depends on if you're going for a squad, then obviously you're going to sort of knuckle it down to a first 11. It depends on your formations. Like if you say road-load defenders, you go 4-4-2.
That's what we agreed on, wasn't it? 4-4-2.
4-4-2. That's what we said.
Yeah.
We're going to 4-4.
Yeah. No, Lee Dixon's my right back. Ashley Cole's my left back. Tony Adams and David O'Leary with John Lukic. That's my back five, if you like.
So we've got Dixon in the mix as well. Right, we could be here all night talking about the great defenders we've had. So the next stage, the mid.
Are you trying to say Arsenal deserve their boring Arsenal tag, Jess, by saying we've had great defenders?
True.
Arsenal's always been built from the back, isn't it? That's why the foundations.
And it wasn't Bertie Mee.
Even back before then, it was always built from the back, wasn't it? Arsenal
always has been.
Championship winning teams are always built from the back.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. Oh, mate, this one's done my head. This is done
my head in this midfield.
Midfield. Well, midfield.
Sim, who's the best midfielder who's ever worn a shirt at Arsenal? Who's the best midfielder?
First, I'll just do this super chat. Danny, big up to you, my friend. Been a while. Good to see you, my friend. Big up, Jez, Vieira. Well, that's it. Ironic you've come into like this stage. Vieira was a monster of a player.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My first midfielder that I put down on the team sheet straight away was Liam Brady.
Oh, and me.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Liam Brady was my first one on the midfield team sheet without a shadow.
Remember, we played for. Remember, it's 4-4-2. It's 4-4-2. So obviously, Brady. If you talk about the best players you ever seen in the flesh, or the best players that ever worn a shirt. Come on, it's between three players, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. 100%. Well, probably 4. I don't know. Yeah, probably 4. I would say, but Brady makes my midfield. If you're going to go 4-4-2, what can you say? Left foot, right foot. Balance, control. He was brilliant. As I said to you, when I go to watch football, I like to be excited and get out my seat. And he used to excite me. As soon as he got the ball, I knew something was going to. You always knew something was going to happen when Brady had the ball. whether it was a brilliant pass, whether it was a brilliant shot forcing the goalkeeper to save. We all remember the curler against Spurs. Yeah. I even remember the commentary when I watched it back time and time again. How about that? What about that? And he went running to the Arsenal play ball. I remember the jinking run in the FA Cup. You know, a lot of the players' legs would have gone, and he jinks it through. He gets it out to Rixie. You know, we've dominated the FA Cup there. Man United pull it back to 2-2, and then with minutes to go, he gets the ball in midfield. He jinks through. He plays a perfect weighted pass out to Graham Rix. Rixie then crosses it, and Alan Sunderland at the far post. Say no more. That guy just, he was one of them players that could turn a game on its head.
Absolutely. I mean,
he was proper class, real class. And if he was playing today, he'd be in the £100 million plus.
Oh, easy.
100%. So Liam Brady for me was one of the first. But then, as I said, that's only the one player. But this
who are you going with?
Yeah, if I'm playing 4-4-2, I've got Liam Brady and I've got someone to protect him. His minder, who happens to be one of the best players best midfielders we've ever had as well. But he's his minder as well.
Yeah.
But Liam Brady is in my squad, is in my team sheet. But obviously there's other players, midfielders going to have some credible mention. You have to talk about, even though you won't get in my first team, but you have to talk about Manny Petit, and you probably have to talk about Gilberto Silva as well.
Yeah.
I know. There's Emirates. I know fans from the Emirates era have put down my nemesis, Mr. Francesco Fabregas. Yes, because Francesco Fabregas was a beautiful footballer who made the game look easy and can see passes that no one could see. And Francesco Fabregas deserved to play in the Invincible side. He deserved to play in the George Graham side. And he deserved to play in any era where Arsenal were dominant. But he don't make my list.
I'd tell you one of the people, Manu Petit makes my bench, but another player makes my bench that may surprise everyone, because if I'll give you a rundown, Kenny and Jez, you might get it. But this player wasn't a sort of player that you had silky skills, wasn't a player that, you know, was kind of even looked like a football player. But what he gave you was an engine, 100%, did not stop running, covered every blade of grass.
I know who it is. I just know who it is. The minute you said cover every blade of grass,
Brian Talbot. You can't not.
He's local to you, isn't he?
No. You can't. You can't not. You can't not. You can't not. You cannot. Brian Talbot makes my bench, but the reason why I've got Brian Talbot in now is the amount of games he played for Arsenal. He kept everything ticking over. Brilliant. So Brady. But
Brian Talbot, he collapsed after the '79 Cup final.
He did. Yeah. He did. He was absolutely shattered.
Absolute exhaustion. I mean, that was a belting hot day anyway. But I mean, we nicked him off Ipswich, which was an absolute steal.
Absolute steal.
Yeah. So
right, Talbot goes in there for sure. No question about that.
You know what? That's the thing. We've got some really good midfielders. Petit is one. You got to talk about Petit, Talbot. I know there's a lot of people in the chat who, when they look at a player that gives you everything, but probably Graham Rix was a very good player for us. Played more left-sided.
Yeah.
At times, can we say, and I'm not being disrespectful, but you know how I actually got blocked by Mickey Hazard because I had the temerity to tell him that he was a poor man's Glenn Hoddle, and he didn't like that one bit. And it was meant as a dig because he was slagging off Arsenal fans, but it actually wasn't a dig. It's actually what he was. Could we say that Graham Rix was a slightly poor man's Liam Brady?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean,
Not in the dig, but he was Liam Brady, but he wasn't Liam Brady.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. With Rixie, I used to watch him obviously a lot, but when he was on it, he was unplayable. When he was on it, Graham Rix was really unplayable. But if he weren't on it, he was that sort of midfield player that looked really, really ordinary. But remember the song? We all agree Rixie is better than Oddle. Do you remember that?
Yes, we do. We do remember those songs, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he hasn't made my sort of 17-man coach trip. But yeah, I can see where you're coming from, Kenny, with Graham Rix, 100%.
But you know what it is, right? If we're playing like 4-4-2, we need like a right winger and a left winger, but not in a traditional sense.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one left winger, though, isn't there? The left side.
Who is it then?
Well, I've got the Frenchman.
Robert Perez.
Yeah, probably the most underrated.
I know it's a big catch, right? But when I talk about the third best players we've ever had, number 4 after the third best players is Robert Perez.
Oh,
Robert
brilliant!
Perez is up there with one of the greatest players we've ever had.
Yeah, 100%.
Are we not going to bring into there's a player I made a little note about. Somebody mentioned it in the chat just about George Armstrong.
Yeah,
solid player.
Radford.
It's a tricky one this now because
was George Armstrong better than Rocastle?
No, not in my book.
Says it all, then, isn't it?
Yeah. But we've had some brilliant midfield players. I mean,
we haven't got Vieira and Bergkamp in yet.
Well, we got Vieira. I mean, Vieira's a given, isn't it?
Get up top, can't you?
Have you got Vieira's Brady's?
Vieira, Liam.
Yeah. So you got Vieira, Brady, Perez. They're the three in midfield.
Yeah, and the right winger is between Georgie Armstrong and David Rocastle. You know what? We haven't even put Alan Ball in the team, in the squad. Alan Ball can't even fit in there.
Yeah, but this is where it's hard, isn't it? Because you've got Lundberg, you've got Paul Merson. What about Alexis Sanchez?
Right.
But Bobby Perez is better than Alexis Sanchez. I think he's a better player than Alexis Sanchez.
Yeah, I mean, Alexis was unreal, but Perez gets in before Alexis. And then you've got, and then you've got Santi Cazorla. What a player he was.
Anders Limpard gets a mention as well.
Freddie Lundberg. And then you got other players.
All left wing, wasn't he?
Yeah, we haven't even talked about Overmars for a couple of seasons.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. Who do you leave out? Vieira and Brady, definitely. Perez, I agree with you, Kenny, definitely. Yeah. The right-hand side, I'm
going to put Overmars in there. Overmars, right. He was a great player, I think, personally.
What about Paul
Davis as well? SG's made with Paul Davis. We haven't even mentioned him either.
No.
Good player as well.
Oh my days! How are we going to pick this squad?
Paul Merson as well.
Oh, it doesn't Paul fit in as a second striker?
I suppose so. Yeah.
89 and 91, second striker consideration. Then
he was moved to more striker.
The FA Cup runs.
He was like number 10 though, wasn't he? Yeah, he was more than 10, wasn't he? But yeah. Oh,
Mickey Thomas. I mean, crikey.
Petit, Vieira,
Michael Thomas.
Mickey Thomas. Jeez.
All right, I'm going to write him down. Mickey Thomas. I'm going to write him down. But
Ray Parlour.
Yeah.
Lundberg. I mean, where do we stop?
Well, that's why we have a show like this. That's why we have this.
You wouldn't have this problem with the latest squad, would you?
Not really, no.
I think
more players here than we got our current squad.
But I think it was Richie 99 asked if any players from Emirates era gets in. It's hard to fit them in, even though we had like a whole nearly 20 years of watching teams and players play the Emirates. It's hard to fit them in because it's just you can't fit them in. For me, I can't. I find it hard because
they don't fit in this squad. They
don't.
Squad. As Rat says, why did Peter Marinello flop at Arsenal? He was overhyped, mate. When we bought him from Hibernian, it's unfortunate for the guy because he was bigged up to be the next George Best, and unfortunately, mate, he just wasn't ever going to get to that level. And I felt sorry for the guy, to be honest, because the press killed him. But hey, that's what happened. But we got Brady Fabregas. Oh, Fabregas. But Vieira.
Yeah, he's good. Fabregas.
Yeah.
Alexander Sheb.
Quick feet. Playing,
Coquelin. We got Francis Coquelin.
Not a chance, mate. Not a chance.
Not above Silva. Done a brilliant job.
We've forgotten. Hey, gentlemen. We've forgotten Arteta.
Funny that, isn't it? He don't get above these players, I'm afraid.
No. Doesn't even get in the reserve squad, mate. Doesn't even get in there.
Works hard.
Let's go up front then. Let's go up front. Now, I'm going to give you my two. My two.
Obvious.
I'm going to go, obviously, Henry.
Yeah,
my other one, which will be a shock, is... I'm going to come back to him. So it's Henry, Bergkamp at 10, playing at the 10.
Yeah, you got to have them too, 100%.
So we've got Henry and Bergkamp.
Yeah.
Greatest players ever at Arsenal.
Henry and Bergkamp for me, and I want to get your options because
Henry Bergkamp for me as well. But obviously you've got to think about Paul Merson, who could play the Bergkamp position, but Bergkamp was better.
Yeah,
you've got to think about on the footballing potential, what he could have been, what he should have been at Arsenal. Is my guys is Nicholas Anelka should have been, and there's another player that should have been an Arsenal great, but missed the boat. Emmanuel Adebayor. Now, everyone says, "Oh, what about Aubameyang?" I'm sorry, Aubameyang, and I say this respectfully to anyone watching who's a big Aubameyang fan. Adebayor and Anelka wiped the floor with Aubameyang.
Oh, 100%.
He's not on their level. Adebayor and Anelka.
Nicholas Anelka was
Aubameyang.
Yeah, Nicholas Anelka. But I'm going to put other strikers in there as well. Smudger, Alan Smith.
God, the poor man. Damn, him.
How can you not put Alan Smith in there? I can't believe it.
Alan Smith, got to be in there, man.
Alan Smith, he used to lead it on his own.
Yeah.
Smudger.
I know it is. Do you pick Kevin Campbell for football ability or sentimental reasons?
I should punch myself in the face for that.
Not even sentimental, but if you look at his football ability, I mean, that guy could hold the ball up. He scored brilliant goals. Yeah. When I say European Cup, Cup Winners' Cup, 89, that crucial first goal, and the layoff to Michael Thomas.
I think I'm going to have to sack myself.
and the Gooners remind you of someone.
Oh my days!
We've got Ian Wright.
Ian Wright, I was going to come to him. I got Ian Wright and Alan Smith on the bench.
Well, I've got
Bergkamp and Henry as my obvious two, which most people probably won't disagree with. And then I've got Wright, Smith, Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
that's right.
Would you guys agree with me or disagree with me on this? It's your decision, right? You've got the executive vote on this one. Right. I've got Cliff Baston.
Oh my God! Yeah, Ted Drake as well. You left that Ted Drake.
No, I've got them both. I'm just throwing one in there.
All right, so both Cliff Baston and Ted Drake won us trophies, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean Baston and Drake. I mean, yeah,
and Drake had a better goal ratio than Cliff Baston. 167 appearances, 124 goals. Ted Drake.
He was phenomenal.
We got to pick one of them. We got to pick one of them two guys. Drake, Baston. Who are you going to go with?
I'm going with Drake.
Ted Drake. Yeah, I agree with you.
What about you, DJB?
I'm trying to think of it because Cliff Baston.
I went for 124 goals and 167 appearances. That's what I went for.
Baston was special, wasn't he?
I know, but Baston was a attacking midfielder, wasn't he?
Yeah, I'll go with Drake as a striker, probably. Yeah, out and out striker, Ted Drake. Yeah.
I mean, he was. I mean, God, he's never got. Obviously, it's before our flipping time.
Yeah. It just goes to show when we're mentioning all these great players, how this current squad, apart from one or two players, do you know what I mean? How poor this current team is when we're mentioning these great players.
And none of them are fitting in our current. We've been
none of them. We ain't mentioned one of them, have we? The only one I'd probably mention. The only one I'd probably mention to throw in there is probably Gabriel or Saliba, and that's it. Other than that, I'm pretty much struggling, to be honest.
It's you know what? It's not actually a dig against. It's not a dig against the players who played in the Emirates. It's just that you think about it. Obviously, there's going to be fans who are younger than us, much younger than us, who are old enough to be our sons, who are not even going to mention these players because they, probably rightly so, going to look at players who they've seen play. Like, you know, the guy from the different knock. As much as I'm thinking, how can you say Saliba and Gabriel are better than Adams and Bold? But he's never seen Adams and Bold play.
No, but that's the beauty of technology, Kennny. He can see.
He can see it.
Play.
Yeah.
All these people that we're mentioning, go and watch them. That's all I'm saying. If you've never watched Liam Brady, go and watch him.
Legend. Absolutely. I mean,
you know what?
It's a privilege to watch him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the thing. That's the thing with football these days. I don't have to watch Pele to know that Pele was the best player that's ever played.
No.
Because I'll take your word, because I know you guys have seen him play. So I'll take your word for it. And I look at what he's won with Brazil, and I look at the goals he scored, and I looked at how he played, and I'll say Messi and Ronaldo are not Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo are not on his level. But the original Ronaldo, Nazário de Lima, played a bit like Pele, as did Ronaldinho.
I mean, one of the best players that I saw as a very young boy, I was lucky to see him, and he was sort of coming towards the end, was the great Georgie Best. I mean, if anyone wants to watch a midfield player, go and watch that guy. Go and watch clips of him. I mean, he was just incredible as a player. But I mean, strikers. Look who we've had: Alan Smith, Baston, Drake, Bergkamp, Henry. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on.
I mean, we haven't even got Frank Staple to it.
I mean, you got Frank Staple, mate. You know, you've got
Doug Lishman. There you go. There's somebody who knows their history. Doug Lishman. There you go. Mate. There you go.
Goal. Good. You know, 8 years at the club, straight after the war. That is easily 1 and 2 games. 1 and 2.
Yeah. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, Malcolm McDonald.
Malcolm McDonald should have. Without injuries, Malcolm McDonald probably would have been up there with Ian Wright in terms of getting close to Cliff Bastin's record?
Oh, yeah, I mean, Malcolm McDonald, yeah, exactly.
Canu?
Michael Konu, good player. Genius.
Yeah.
It's just maddening, really, when you think. William, George Best, watched him, actually. I was privileged to watch him play, not only for Man United, but for Fulham. And
Charlie Nicholas. I mean, Mesut Ozil, it's a shame.
Yeah,
I saw him.
Should have been up there with Brady. Should have been up there with Brady.
He should have been up there with Arsenal. He had everything. He was a beautiful player to watch, but unfortunately,
yeah, know what?
Nah, his attitude was completely wrong. But a beautiful footballer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know
that's true. And of course, my final one, I've always going to have this one in there. I'm always going to have this player. He was an icon player for me, John Radford.
Yeah, I was going to say Radford. Yeah.
Won us our first European trophy.
Oh, Radford was brilliant. Yeah, he was good.
He worked hard for the team as well, John. Big Raddy.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I'm going to put him in there, boys. And we've got a lot of players. Fucking hell, we've got a lot of players. Oh dear.
So who's the ultimate starting 11 then?
Well, that's what I'm going to ask you now. Right. Goalkeepers. We've got Jennings, Lukic, Lehmann, Seaman. So who's starting off the bench?
Well,
who's starting?
Carl, DJB first. I know he's going to go for, and I know you two are going to go for.
Well, I'd have gone for under pressure, reliable, safe, commanding. Oh, dear. I've got to go Big Pat. I'm sorry. I've got to go Pat Jennings. I have to go Pat Jennings. Yeah,
I'm going to go.
What about you?
I'm going Seaman.
Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry because I bottled it last week. A few weeks ago, we talked about goalkeepers. But there's something about Jens Lehmann makes me think that I have to go with him.
Right, so you're going Lehmann. We can only pick one.
I know a lot of people are going to say, Ken, what are you saying? Oh, sorry, I've seen all of them play. But Lehmann's me. And you know how much I love John Lukic, how much I respect him.
I can't forgive Seaman from the halfway line. I can't forgive Lehmann for being sent off. But
I know, I get it. But you know what?
I'm only joking. I am only joking.
You know what? All these goalkeepers made huge mistakes. Like Patrick Oxford, when he tried to say it with one hand.
Yeah, I'm jesting. I am only jesting.
Yeah,
who are we going to pick then? Come on, who are we going to pick? Should we go with Lehmann?
Yeah, we're going to have to. I'm going to throw it to the chat.
Chat, you do it.
Right, it's out of Lehmann, Jennings, or Seaman.
Yeah.
First one to come back with the answer will be the winner. Because I think we're going to have to do this because we got to go. We're going to sit here all night, the three of us.
Well, I don't know. There's obvious ones, isn't there?
It's only EastEnders, John. Don't worry about it.
Seaman. Everybody's coming back with Seaman. Yeah, I
thought so. Yeah, I respect that.
Seaman.
Look at young head Yeti's cave. He had to add on something after Seaman, didn't he?
Oh, we got one Jennings. We've got a Jennings here. Seaman. Rats coming in. Seaman.
I said the first one, and it's gone.
Okay,
it's gone.
Seaman, it is then, isn't it?
Yeah, Seaman. Yeah, a lot of people with Seaman.
I can understand where you're coming from, Kenny, with Lehmann, though.
I get it. I get it. Personally, I think he got cheated at that.
Oh,
100%. I'm going to say that to the day.
He got stitched up, Jens Lehmann.
Yeah, 100%.
It was the most corrupt bloody European Cup.
So Seaman and Jens Lehmann. Jens Lehmann's the first sub then. So Seaman starts and then Jens Lehmann on the bench.
Lehmann's on the bench.
Right.
Yeah, right. Lehmann is on the. I'm put there now. Lehmann.
Do we all agree Tony Adams?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So Tony Adams.
Who's alongside Tony Adams though?
I said David O'Leary.
A lot of people go with that, you know.
I've got to go with that, man.
Yes, I'm going with that as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we've got Adams, O'Leary, and then I said
Left
Ashley
back's hard.
Yeah, it is hard, but I've gone with Ashley Cole just about
Yeah.
over Kenny Sansom.
What about you, Jess?
Hang on, I'm just writing it down. Say that again.
Yeah.
Go on. What?
Seaman Adams, O'Leary, and I've gone Ashley Cole. Just edges it over Kenny Sansom. It's broke me up by not having Kenny in there, but
I was the one that put in there Ashley Cole, so I am going to go with Ashley Cole.
I was going to say Kenny Sansom, but I'll go Ashley Cole as well because Ashley Cole's a great.
Yeah, Kenny. Oh God, I want to go Kenny.
Sorry, mate.
Ashley Cole's great. Also great.
Yeah. What about right back though? Because I went Lee Dixon, but it might not all be your choices.
I've got Lee Dixon as well.
You've gone Dixon as well.
Okay, I'm outvoted then. That's fair enough.
Did you put Pat Rice in, Kenny?
No, I went Lee Dixon.
Jez, did you put Pat Rice?
I did.
Yeah. I mean, it was at a. Okay, we've gone with Dixon then, haven't we?
So you're going Dixon, yeah? No. Who'd you say?
Yeah. Kenny went with Dixon. I went with Dixon.
Yeah. So you win. I'm there. Okay, I'm on that. Right, midfield then. Midfield. We have got.
Yeah.
Where are we going to start on this one? I'm sorry, gentlemen. It's got to be all day long. Captain Vieira.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
100%. Yeah.
Got to be
100%.
Vieira.
That's easy. Then Brady for me.
Yeah.
Where are we playing for Brady?
Brady.
He's the guy who wins us the match. Who breaks the lines.
Yeah. 100%.
He breaks the lines.
Ace.
Yeah. You know what he does? He stops Dennis Bergkamp from coming to the midfield.
He does. Bergkamp wouldn't need to drop in midfield, would he, when you got Brady? Can you just imagine, just for 30 seconds, imagine Brady and Bergkamp playing for each other?
Christ.
Can you imagine that partnership?
How many balls do you need on the field, though?
Eh?
How many balls do you need on the field?
Oh, I mean, you imagine. Can
you imagine the telepathy between those two players?
Can you imagine it? Probably the two most intelligent players I've ever seen at Arsenal with a brain. Incredible. Yeah, Rocky. Yeah, Rocky's always going to get a mention, isn't he? But yeah, Vieira and Brady. Who's the next one then? I went with Perez. Perez on the left.
Oh, Perez for me.
Perez. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that one, DJ?
Yeah. I had Perez down. This is the one I'm going to leave to you and Kenny though, because on the right.
I've gone for Rocky. Who have you gone for, Jez?
Rocky.
Yeah, I'll go with Rocky then.
Legend of a player, in my opinion.
Yeah, Rocky.
Okay.
Rocky Rocastle.
So,
what a midfield that is! What a midfield!
Can you imagine that?
Although I did like Freddie.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Freddie was a good player. Very, very good player. Brave as well. And considering he scored a lot of goals for Arsenal in a short amount of time.
Yeah, 100%, definitely.
Yeah.
Right. Come on then. Who's up front?
Well, the obvious two, although it's tough.
Isn't it?
The obvious two has got to be Smith and Ian Wright, hasn't it? No, he's got Henry without a doubt. 100%. Henry and Bergkamp, yeah. I mean,
for me, Henry and Bergkamp, for me, yeah.
Bergkamp and Henry is your Arsenal equivalent of who's best out of Ronaldo and Messi, isn't it? The debate goes on.
That debate.
If you was to split the Arsenal fan base right down the middle, that debate would go on forever. Henry and
you know what?
Bergkamp.
A lot of people, if I speak to different people, and I spoke, if I was on a good day, if I went to the people I go Arsenal with, majority will go for Bergkamp, but we'll still be torn by it. And if I go to a different members of my family who are Arsenal fans, they'll say Henry. So it really is depends who speaks.
Yeah, I think with me with Bergkamp, what Henry's goals and the way he got the ball and run with the ball was just incredible. But why Bergkamp edges it for me was his intelligence, the way he found space, and when he had the ball at his feet, how quickly he kind of shuffled it and passed it. He'd see every runner from everywhere, wouldn't he? And
100%.
You've now got to pick your bench of 6
my bench. Right. Well, the first one on the bench for me is Ian Wright.
Well, it's Layman. We've agreed Layman.
Ian Wright.
Yeah, Layman's on the bench. Ian Wright.
Yeah. Right. And then I had Frank McClintock.
Oh, did you?
Go on, yeah.
Okay, McClintock.
I had Frank McClintock because if Adams or O'Leary got injured, I can't think of a more commanding centre half than Frank.
Do you have do you have more defenders, or do you just fill it with midfielders?
I've mixed it all up a little bit, but so righty, McClintock. What else did I have? I had
Alan Smith. Alan Smith on there.
I got McNabb as well.
Oh right,
McNabb. Yeah. Does Smithy get on the bench? Alan Smith.
I had.
Yeah, he's on the bench.
I did have Smith.
He's in the squad.
Have you got one more. So if we go with a squad of 17, we need 6 more. We need six subs.
Yeah, we got Layman, Wright, McClintock, McNabb so far.
Smith,
and then I went.
Smith. Yeah,
we need one. If we got Smith, we need one more.
2 more, isn't it? 5.
We got 11. What squad of 17? We need subs.
See, how are we going to get Talbot and Petit in or Cess?
You don't. You don't. They're not in the match day squad, but they're in the squad, but not the match day squad.
Oh.
This is the team, right? Let's just imagine this is the team against Man United in the 2026 Cup final. This is our match day bench and team.
Yeah, that's right.
I think the bench
we've got Seaman, Dixon, O'Leary, Adams, Ashley Cole, Rocky Road, Vieira, Brady, Pires, Bergkamp, Henry. On the bench, Layman, Wright, McClintock, McNabb, Smith.
One more.
Okay. Well, if it's one more, you got to go Petit.
Yeah.
What about if you? Who's got pace? Who can come to the bench and give
Alexis Sanchez?
Who's quicker out of Alexis Sanchez and
not in the squad?
Overmars. Who's quicker out of Alexis Sanchez and Overmars?
But Alexis Sanchez's football brain was better than Overmars.
We didn't pick him in the squad this season.
Did we?
Sanchez isn't in the squad.
Oh, he ain't in
the squad. So it's got to be Overmars then, or Lundberg.
Yeah. It's got to be Overmars or even Mickey Thomas.
Yes, right.
Or Brian Talbot. Or Manu Petit.
Oh, come on then.
Right, sorry, Rat. Walcott is not getting any of my squads. He's not getting my 23 or my match day. No way.
No. He don't come above these what we've mentioned. So we've got one to pick. Well, if you look at the squad, right? If you look at the squad and Vieira gets nobbled, who's going to play alongside Brady? The only person I can think of is Petit or Brian Talbot.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, so
I mean, but...
Hey, do you remember the bad old? Do you remember the bad old days, right? When we were growing up, we had one sub.
Yeah.
One sub. And
then it went to 2.
Then he went to 2.
Yeah. But it was 2 subs for years, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I remember back in the day when you had one sub, and that sub wasn't actually a defender.
No.
And there was no goalkeepers or a sub. So if the goalkeeper got injured,
you outfield
goal.
Yeah, used to see it all the time.
Yeah.
Now you get 5 subs and all. So who's our last player then? Come on, who's our last player? Who are you going with? Yes.
I'm going. I absolutely love this player. I actually thought he's a legend for me, and I'm now looking at 2 names. So I'm talking bollocks. Yeah, I'm going to go Mark Overmars. I thought he could play.
Right.
He could play it.
With him as well.
Overmars. Okay, Overmars.
The pace.
Overmars it is then.
Pace, yeah.
That's some team, isn't it?
I think he could play anywhere in the midfield.
Overmars was quality. So we got the starting 11 was.
He was a good finisher as well, Mark Overmars.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt, yeah.
So there you go. There's the question, gentlemen. AFC always. Question to the panel: who is the manager?
Yeah,
it's either Wenger, Chapman, or George Graham.
Yeah. I'm going to go with George Graham.
George Graham.
I'm going George Graham. I think, man, what he won in the 9 years he was at Arsenal. And let's respect.
1 game away from the invincible season.
Well, and respect to Herbert Chapman, right? He died before Arsenal won. He only won 1 championship and the FA Cup.
Yeah,
George Allison that then went on to win the rest of that stuff. So, but yes, Herbert Chapman is a legend of a manager because he was the one that brought in that amazing football style, the WN, to which he developed at Huddersfield, apparently.
You see, he won at Huddersfield as well, Herbert Chapman.
3 league championships. I mean, that man was a legend, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Guess what? Guess who he played for, guys?
When you think what George Graham done with the type of players he went out and bought, look at those players he went to Anfield with. That's what you've got to base that on.
Yeah.
What manager with them sort of players? Let's be honest. You know, Kevin Richardson from Watford, Mickey Thomas that he played as a kind of forward, if you like. Yeah. You know, when you look, Nigel Winterburn, I mean, when you look at those players that he went to the great Liverpool team in '89 and what he done, it's beyond belief. I mean, he didn't have any real big, Alan Smith, he didn't have like the real big superstars that the teams have got today and that have had in the past. Do you know what I mean? I'd even defy Pep. I'd even defy if Pep could go to Anfield with that '89 squad and win. Yeah. And they had to win by 2 clear goals and he won 2-0.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
It's for me, he's probably Arsenal's greatest manager.
Greatest manager. I mean, I know Wenger went invincible.
Yeah, and Wenger bought some lovely football, the style of play and everything else. And yeah, it weren't always pretty under George Graham, but what he
won in 9 years though, DJ, the 9-year reign, you look at what he achieved.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah. It was amazing. It was, I mean, it wasn't the prettiest of
Look
football.
at the team he left Arsene Wenger. Look at the defence he left Arsene Wenger.
Yeah.
He also left Arsene Wenger David Seaman.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Right for a season.
Exactly. When Arsene Wenger came in, you know, he inherited George Graham's team, and it wasn't disastrous, was it? Let's be honest.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal what he done, wasn't it? It's brilliant.
Well, anyway, we're going to wrap this up shortly. So, this is our match day squad, right? We got this is the 2026 FA Cup final against Man United, right? This is it. We got Seaman in goal.
Yeah.
We've got Dixon, O'Leary, Adams, Ashley Cole. That's a pretty damn decent defence, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Midfield. I don't think anybody's getting through this midfield.
No.
We've got Rocky, Vieira, Brady, and Perez.
Yeah.
Then up front,
very attacking.
Bergkamp and Omri. I mean, cool. Can you imagine that now?
Look at the pace. Look at the pace coming from midfield. Look at the quality in that midfield, and compare it of today. I'll throw one out there, right? Brady, Partey, Vieira, Rice.
God, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right? And then we go on the left. Martinelli or Perez.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you've got Rocky Rocastle. Do you know what I mean? It just like, how can you?
There's no comparison, man.
I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine having to mark those players? Brady would be all over the place. He'd be running. He'd be dribbling in and out. Vieira would be sitting just in front of that back four. And then you've got the skill of Perez on the left. You've got the skill and the brilliance of Rocastle on the right. And then you've got the link up and the brain of Brady and Bergkamp. I mean, come on.
I mean, it's when you just look at these names on a piece of paper, and you go back, and we have been privileged, gentlemen, to have watched these players live, and you saw what it was like to watch these people. It's a different prospect altogether.
Yeah.
I mean, Longhead, he's good comment. Without George Graham and his achievements, Arsenal may not have been in the position to sign Invincible.
That is a very good comment. That's a good comment. Yeah.
He's spot on. He's spot on.
And what I would say to the Longhead, what I would say to our good friend the Yeti, and I do admire Nottingham Forest and Brian Clough, and I was in awe of Nottingham Forest, his great European team. Even the Yeti would have to admit that team would push that great Nottingham Forest team all the way as well.
Yeah, for sure. That you know the thing about the George Graham as well. I spoke to two guys. One of them hates AFTV, and we and him have a love-hate relationship. He blocks me on Twitter, and then he unblocks me. He's angry with me.
Who's this?
I'll tell you off camera. He lives in Rome. He's a Polish guy, and he's the biggest Wenger fan I've ever. The biggest Wenger in. He loves Arsene Wenger. I had a conversation with him, and I said to him, George Graham. I couldn't stop him talking about how much he loved George Graham and how much George Graham was the manager who got him into Arsenal.
Wow!
I spoke to a Nigerian guy when on AFTV years back, and he was defending and fighting Wenger's corner. The minute I mentioned George Graham, he couldn't stop waxing lyrical. Oh, George Graham! Oh, look what he'd done for the club. So, a lot of the people who have this debate between George Graham and Arsene Wenger, a lot of them were actually introduced to our great club through George, and they love George.
No, he was
as well.
He had to be a boy. He had to be a boy. Can I just throw a question? I've been comparing this team to the current team. Take the sentimental away, because R.I.P. David Rocastle. Rocastle or Saka?
Rocastle for me.
Rocastle.
Yeah.
Rocastle. It might not always be that way, because if you think about the question I asked both of you and asked the panel, how far do you think Saka can go? And the second question is, has he gone as far as he can go? And if not, how far can he go? Because every time we set him targets, he meets those targets, and then we set him other targets, and he keeps on meeting them.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing I question,
he's doing it without even playing well. The targets we always set him.
Will he come back, Kennedy?
Saka wins trophies under George Graham, though, doesn't he? Saka wins trophies with any other manager.
Will he come back, Jez?
Will he come back as a player? I mean,
he'll come back if Arsenal don't rush him in 2 weeks' time against Real Madrid. If Arsenal leave him alone and allow him to heal properly and put aside their determination to play. And one thing I would say, I understand where fans are coming from. I understand how big the game is and how big Saka is as a player for us. But you've got to think of long term. He isn't even close to fitness. All these people saying he's going to play a practice match. Trust me, man. The minute he gets in that field, if any sort of injury he gets and he pulls it, it's going to be even a longer term, more time out of the team.
I think it's another managerial cock up if they rush him back.
Yep. Totally agree with
that. You've got to put Saka first before the team. You got to put his love. You got to put him and his career.
He knows he hasn't won a trophy. He knows he's been there 5 years. He knows the amount of money.
He's now desperate. Next year. He's got another chance. If he keeps fully fit, this is what Saka gains by not playing against this season. He gets another opportunity to win the Champions League next season, and he's got a World Cup to look forward to for England.
Yeah, I totally agree.
If you're not 100% fit,
if I was the manager, or even if I was the owner of the club that was showing an actual interest in my players, that I've bought or reared or whatever you want to call it, right? If I was Josh Kroenke, I would personally be saying to Arteta, no, you ain't playing him. Send him on holiday, right? With his girlfriend or whoever, whatever.
Yeah.
Send him abroad, get him out the scene, take a physio with him. Right? Yeah. That's what Arsenal can afford to do. They can do that. Send him out to, I don't know where, let's say Dubai or somewhere.
If we was at the Champions League, and we was just playing the remaining,
they wouldn't want him back, would they?
They wouldn't even entertain him. They'd say he's out for the season.
You know, Jess, you came
out on the website. He's out for the season.
You do, DJ. We but the problem is because of Arteta. I don't want to get in this tonight. I'm going to talk about this on Thursday night.
Yes, you know, after you mentioned it, you actually came up with a good point because and it's actually been done. But mention your Arteta point, and I'll come back to what you said.
What he should he shouldn't be playing him. He should be sending him away. Get him out of the highlights. Get him away, right? Send him somewhere where he can just have a good time. He can train with a physio, relax, and get himself fit and ready, chill out, and come back in August. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, this manager, right, is such a narcissist, arrogant prick. He will destroy him. Anyway, that's.
But Chase, you know that point you mentioned about taking him on holiday? Well, there was a Liverpool physio who was working under Gerard Houllier. And you know Michael Owen had a similar grade 3 tear. He took Michael Owen on holiday to keep an eye on him. That's how much he actually lost his job at Liverpool because Liverpool wanted to rush him back, Houllier, and the guy went, no, I'm not having it. So he thought he had to leave because he fell out of Houllier over Michael Owen. And who was right? The physio.
And the rest is history with Michael Owen.
Yeah, we know what happened there, don't we?
I can see similar happening to Saka. There's a lot of similarities between Saka and Michael Owen. Because Saka is an impact player, and the way he accelerates and the way he runs, he's that type of player. You know, he's explosive. And that's unfortunately Owen was the same. He was explosive, and them players, if that hamstring is not healed properly, them players will just keep breaking down.
You know what? Any Arsenal fan who's trying to have a go and trying to shout people down about Saka's fitness and say he's got to play because it's Real Madrid. You're just a kid. I'm not putting you down, but when it comes to a player's fitness in his career, I'm fighting you on this. I want Arsenal to beat Real Madrid. I want Arsenal in the Champions League, but not at the expense of a player who's had a free tear. I'm not playing that game.
I want Saka for the long term, not just for 90 minutes.
Exactly. I mean, this is. I think this is. Well, I forgot the term I was going to use, but it's sacrament to actually just sacrificing a player.
Yeah.
Just for 1-2 games, you can.
He's not fit as well.
Well, you could potentially ruin this young man's career forever.
Yeah, he's not even fit. He's not even fit. That's the thing. They're talking about a player who's not fit. So it should be a no-brainer that he doesn't even play.
Shouldn't play. He shouldn't play. He should be wrapped up in cotton wool, sent away somewhere. And this is what I'm saying, Kenny. And get him out of the club. Just get him out.
Exactly, but here's a question as well, though, because if we rush him back for 90 minutes against Real Madrid and he breaks down, and he's out for the rest, he's out till Christmas next season. How much is it going to cost to replace Saka? Because they haven't done that anyway. And I'm not being funny, but they should have had a replacement for Saka just in case he got injured anyway. So it's ridiculous. So long term,
that. It goes, look, I think, I hear you. It goes deeper because if this guy's got a grade 3, he's had that scar on the back of his leg. He's had a big operation there, right? So if he does it again, he's fucked.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah.
He's done.
He's got to fully heal. Got to fully heal.
That takes time.
Yeah, no, he's got to just stay away now till next season, 100%.
When a player breaks their leg, right? Timber, when he did his ACL, he was out for a whole year.
Yeah.
First game of the season, did an injury, got pushed back on the pitch, did his ACL, gone for a whole year. Didn't rush him back, did we?
No.
And we felt the benefits. He's had a full rehabilitation. He's come back, and he's playing. He's fully all right. Don't get me wrong. He's still playing himself within fitness. But you take Timber out of that right back position and put Benjamin White in there. That's no disrespect to Benjamin White. They're different players, but defensively, Timber gives us much more than Benjamin White does because to the extent that when Benjamin White plays at right back, if he struggles, which he was doing against quick-footed left wingers, Saliba has to leave his position to help him out, which in turn leaves more space for attackers. I've never seen that with Timber. Not saying that Timber's like the alpha and omega, but Timber, let's get it right. He loves defending. He understands all aspects of playing in the back four.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, completely. No, we'll have to see. But to me, no, I don't think he's ready personally, and I don't see the point.
I don't want to see him any time now between now and August.
No,
I don't want to see him. I don't want to hear about him. I don't want to know about him.
No.
If they've got any compassion at this bloody football club, right?
Yeah.
You won't talk about him. He won't be in the news press. There'll be no talk. He'll be out the way, wherever, somewhere nice and warm. Have a great time with a physio, getting him back to rehabilitation, getting him ready for the coming season. That's what a big club would do.
Yeah. No.
Anyway, it's been a great show, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. Really enjoyed this one. Really enjoyed it.
We've gone through our. I don't know. People leave comments if you think we're wrong, because I think we pretty much got it right. Our three elderly experiences.
Yeah,
we've got it on the money. I think so.
Next week
we would do.
Jez,
School show.
I know assumptions that are the lead to a lot of big F-ups, but am I to assume because Arsenal play next Tuesday, we've got to move the show forward to Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was going to say next week's show will be something completely different. It's going to be our worst 20 ever Arsenal players.
I was going to say, you do worse ones.
That's cruel.
Yeah, it's a cruel one.
Yeah, you've got to be cruel sometimes. Be kind.
I thought you'd say that.
I can think of 4 straight away.
So can I. I've already got that.
All these people talking about the Emirates era. Bloody hell, they're going to get what they want, aren't they?
Jeez. Sonogo. Damn it.
Don't
say him now.
Anyway,
they may not get in. Although Mustafi might not get into the world.
No, I can think of a couple worse than him.
Yes, mate. Honestly, oh dear. I've got some written down already. Oh dear. Anyway,
hey. One thing before we go. I don't know if any of you guys watched the England game yesterday.
I did.
Lee Dixon, the commentary box, and the commentator. I keep on missing his name, but I've seen him in the flesh. He used to be married to
Sam Matterface.
Sam Matterface was talking about Latvians, and he mentioned, you play with Latvian player Igor Stefanos. What would he like to play with? And Lee Dixon didn't answer him. Did you notice that?
No. I had the commentary off.
I was watching it, and Lee Dixon refused to answer Sam Matterface when he mentioned what was Igor Stefanos like to play with. I swear down, Lee Dixon refused to answer him.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't hear that guy. I did. Yeah. I was on a stream. I was on somebody's show.
Oh right.
So I had it on, but I had the commentary off. But unfortunately, I didn't hear that.
No, I heard it, and I laughed my head off.
That's a great comment from Hendo. Most of the worst players ever in the current Arsenal squad. Most of the 31 players that Arteta signed for 800 million. Yeah, that's about it.
But right.
Yeah, Timmy, and thank you, Craig. It's been a great show, this one. I really enjoyed it. It's been tricky, unfortunately.
It's been good. It's been a good show, guys.
And Edu didn't make it into our squad.
No, there's a few players that never.
And none of the current players have made it. So
Jules Gramondi didn't make it.
Yeah, no. Christ, mate. Oh dear. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up. DJ, what you got coming up, mate?
I've not got a lot to say. I've not heard from Dan, so I don't think Dan's doing much tonight. Whoever wants me, but I haven't got anything planned. Got Aaron on Monday.
I'll see you Thursday night
on Monday. Thursday night, Jez, if I'm home in time, I will definitely pop along. So if I've got work quite late Thursday, unfortunately, but I am home in time, Jez, I will happily come on your show. That's about it, guys. But as I said before, you will see me around the channels. Always a pleasure to support and be there. So I am. What do we call ourselves, Jez? We've nicknamed Dan
the Hordes.
The Hordes.
Hordes.
Yes.
Yes. That's right.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm on with Deluded with Kennny, and I've just remembered Kenny and Aaron with Deluded on Wednesday.
That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I think there's one tomorrow with Deluded. Although he lets me know.
Yeah.
I think he hasn't said anything, but I think he'll let me know. And then Anfield Rods. You remember Anfield Rods?
Yeah.
Anfield Rods asked me, and then I have to play it by ear because you know the wife. She's thinking, "Hang on, what's all these podcasts? When are we going to spend time together?"
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I've got to play it by ear.
Don't make her a podcast widow, Kenny. All right, don't make her a podcast.
She already is one, according to her.
yeah, I get
No,
it.
she generally thinks she's a podcast widow.
I get that. I get that. And she said,
Jess, you must be. Hang on here. How many of these shows are you saying yes to? You must get that as well.
Yeah, but Jez has got it spot on. Jez's missus brings in Chinese and everything.
Oh yeah, I know. But hang on, I pay for it.
Oh, that's yeah. So I'm on with Deluded. I'm on with Deluded tomorrow, and obviously Aaron on Monday, and then if I can get back in time, I'll be with Great Jezza on Thursday.
Nice one, boys. Kenny Ken.
It's the FA Cup this weekend, by the way, if anyone's interested.
Yeah.
And Arsenal fans take note. If Crystal Palace beat Fulham, then the Crystal Palace game on the 26th of April will be moved because Crystal Palace will be playing in a semi-final. However, one of my close friends is a Fulham fan, but I've also got people close to me who are Crystal Palace fans.
I don't know about you, but I would like to see Fulham win the FA Cup.
Oh, I'd love that. I'd love that. Cool, that'd be brilliant.
You know what? I think if Mateta's fit, that game is going all the way to penalties.
Yeah, I'd like to see Fulham win it. Yeah.
I am actually supporting Nottingham Forest. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think they've only ever won it once.
Yeah, I'd like to see Forest win it. I think Forest have had a great season. But then, I mean, what a remarkable... I mean, imagine Bournemouth winning it. I mean, that's fantastic.
Wow. Cool.
I mean, I was watching Bournemouth non-league not so long ago.
CTP Guru 07. I am trying to follow the IPL. It's not on the channels, but I have to try and get it. But of course, I'm going to go with the Mumbai Indians.
Fair enough. Okay.
Well, I hope Villa win it or Bournemouth. Villa or Bournemouth. Yeah, I've got to be honest. There's not many London clubs I like, obviously, other than Arsenal. But I do have if I was to pick one, if Arsenal fell off the planet, I'd probably follow Fulham. Don't ask me why.
I've got a confession to make. And it's an awful thing to say, but in Europe, I don't support the English clubs in Europe. I hope they always lose. I don't know why, but I've never gone with the English club because I see it as any trophy they win in Europe is one more trophy that we haven't won ourselves.
No, I'm with you, Kenny. I find it difficult to support any English club in Europe. It's bad, isn't it? Really, but yeah,
I can't do it.
No,
I can't, mate. I can't. It's great, isn't it?
It's painful. It's
just
painful.
like putting nails down a blackboard, isn't it?
It is painful. But it would be hard to support any other club.
Can you imagine a Europa League Cup final between Man United and Spurs? Although I would like Man United beat Tottenham.
Yeah. The only club that I supported in Europe was the great Brian Clough's Nottingham Forest. That's the only club.
We're going back 45 years.
Yeah, but that guy, Brian Clough, he done something he was brilliant, wasn't he? He was absolutely, you can throw all your medals in the bin because you've done it by cheating. When he took over the league job.
You know what? All those cup quarterfinals, they're all 50-50 games. A set for Preston fans, but I think if Villa give it their all and don't have one eye on the Champions League, they'll win. I think Preston's biggest chance is that Villa got one eye in the Champions League final.
There's an old.
Yeah. What's that?
No, I was just going to say there's an old traditional club, Preston, eh?
Oh,
were they in Invincibles, Preston?
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
1878.
They were an old traditional club. When you think of all these, that's why I follow a lot on the Championship as well. Like you know, there's some great clubs around, isn't there, in the lower league.
1964 Cup final, Preston were playing West Ham, and if Howard Kendall was the youngest player to play in the FA Cup final before Paul Allen, but Howard Kendall was born on the same day as George Best. So if George Best and Man United beat West Ham in the semi-final in '64 in Hillsborough, and Man United played Preston, both George Best and Howard Kendall would have been jointly the youngest players to ever play in the FA Cup.
Yeah, that's a great stat. That's a great
Oh,
so
by the way,
that was the days when the FA Cup was a proper traditional cup.
Until Paul Allen,
the semi-final never got played at Wembley, and that's what killed the FA Cup.
By the way, guys, Easter, I am doing an Arsenal football quiz.
Brilliant.
It'd be a 40 question. It'd be 20 odd questions on Arsenal and 20 odd on general footballation. So I'm going to pop the quiz out there, test your knowledge. DJ, if you want to join that one, you're more than welcome. Try and take Ken's crown. And
no, I won't do that. I won't do that.
Well, I might cheat for you. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I'll get Anthony on that one, and probably
Anthony Herbert came close, really close. He came really close.
Yeah. And probably I'll get the volcano on as well if he's about. But anyway, we're going to wrap it up.
Nah, wicked. Okie dokie.
Going to wrap it up.
Nice soon.
Be an absolute legend show, this one. Next week, Wednesday next week. We're playing Tuesday. So it will be the worst Arsenal players.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's call it 20 players. Let's call it 20. And I'm afraid to say I think quite a lot of the players that play now will be in that jobby. But anyway, got to do the outro, people. Catch you later. Thanks for joining.
Catch you later, guys. Bless you.
And we'll catch you all later. Take care, all.
Take care, guys. Stay safe.